Alright, so here we have a game with Tecalaj, one of our chess community buddies. I had made a TikTok requesting chess analysis games, and he delivered. In this game, we see Tecalaj playing as black against his opponent Tecalaj at 1500. We see that the time control is 45 minutes on both sides of the clock, so they have plenty of time to make their moves. So we should see some good opening play for sure, and some interesting tactics. I have reviewed this game briefly with the computer shortly before this, so I have some ideas of what's going to happen, but I haven't gotten a chance to look at it more deeply. So, again, Takala is playing as black, and he's playing against a queen's pawn opening. So let's see. Alright, starts with knight f6, very flexible move, still up in the air what opening we're going to play. Alright, so we got about a queen's gambit, we got a queen's Indian type setup here. Alright, e6. Alright, so we have a Nimzo-Indian Defense. So I'm no expert on openings, but if you want to learn more about the Nimzo-Indian Defense, I'm sure you can find a YouTube video that goes in all sorts of different lines. I know it's a very popular opening. I'm not sure how often Tecalaj uses it, but I'd be curious, Tecalaj, you could tell me if this is an opening that you employ a lot, or if there's something you're experimenting with now. Yeah. Alright, so no issues here. Nobody's making any mistakes here. Idea with moving the queen here is to protect the knight. So if the bishop does take, there's the option of taking back with the queen, which would avoid doubling the pawns, which I don't think there would be a huge issue with doubling the pawns. I think that's probably one of the lines as well, because you'd be activating this rook, and this pawn would be protecting a central pawn. So I don't think there's too many issues there. Okay, so Tecalaj castles quickly, and white goes ahead and attacks the bishop. Yeah, I guess that's a line too. That's not my first thought, because I figure the bishop's there to take the knight anyway. So by playing h3, you're just kind of questioning the bishop to do it anyway. I think I would have preferred to just go ahead with a developing move and let him take the knight without giving an extra tempo. But that's just my thought. Alright, so he does take it. Queen takes back. And here we're still pretty even, I would say. Tecalaj obviously preparing to develop a bishop. Very good. So he's just focused on castling quickly, keeping his king safe. Knight developed. Bishop's going to be developed, controlling this diagonal. Not sure where this knight's going to end up just yet. Okay, so they pin the knight to the queen. Develops the bishop. Alright. Okay, so this is an interesting moment. This isn't my first thought, because I'm thinking the idea of bringing the bishop here is to open up on this diagonal, and you strike, Tecalaj, you strike the center right away, and I guess you're thinking you're going to open it up again. The reason I hesitate with it a bit is because I'm not too sure how I would handle c5. It would be a little uncomfortable for me. I feel like I wouldn't be able to break open the center as easily. And I say that because the king, white's king, is still in the center. And that makes me like kind of eager to look for something that would break open the center and cause more chaos, right? And I'm not sure how I'd reply to c5. Yeah, and also that it blunts the bishop here. So if I might have mentioned that already, but if they kind of keep this solid in c5, then the bishop's not really has as nice of a scope as it could have had. Right, but they end up taking, so they're not really keeping the tension there on you. So you take back, put your bishop in the center. Okay. All right, so as white, I get the idea of moving the queen back, and now they're on this diagonal. Maybe this pawn eventually be pushed one day, but I feel like they're not prioritizing the development of the knight and bishop and castling the king. So really too many moves with this queen here. All right, but you're doing the exact opposite, which is good. In my opinion, I would like to play this way, more solid, developing pieces. I mean, yeah, I have no issues with your side. Although at the same time, I don't see, there's really no way to really take advantage of white's weaknesses at this point. But I would still be looking to break open the center to kind of create some more tactics. So, alright, so they play f3. idea being to eventually play here, controlling more of the center, gain a tempo on the bishop, probably kicking them back. Um, yeah, okay. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. All right, so you attack the bishop, telling him, all right, what you gonna do, buddy? Are you gonna take? Allow me to take back. You're gonna kick back. What's happening with you? He goes back. I like this move. I like c5 a lot. Again, trying to break open the center. Also, some possibilities if he takes back. You got two pieces coming towards the center. Improving your pieces, really. Also, a potential rook to c8 coming in with this being traded off, taking over this file. Just really activating your pieces very, very nicely. Okay, so they play rook to d1. All right. Probably some anticipation of taking here and trying to control their own file. I'm still really concerned about the king. I'm still I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do with these pieces here. Yeah. All right, so you go ahead and take. I definitely agree with that. You're undermining their center control and probably potentially going to play a move like this. Rook take. I'm a little concerned about it because it offers you opportunities to gain tempos against the rook while improving your pieces and again placing pressure on the king, which is uncastled. Yeah, I like your pieces here. All your pieces are really doing something. You're taking advantage of the file and getting a tempo at the same time. It's looking really dangerous for white. Okay. I'm concerned about that move as well, because I could see that your knight would have a nice path to fork. Obviously, that wouldn't happen. I mean, you guys have 27 minutes and 34 minutes on the clock. You wouldn't get the fork, but my thinking is that you would be able to improve your knight with a threat of a fork. You know, disrupting their position more and making it harder for them to develop the rest of their pieces in castle, and that's what you do. Yeah, so now the queen ends up moving twice. So it makes it look like the queen's being silly. The queen's bouncing all around, making all these moves, and the white side still not very developed. And there's really no tactics or attacking potential of their side. Well, if I back up a little bit, I wasn't thinking about what if this was played. Well, actually, hold on. Well, if this was here. Okay, there was really no time. Never mind. Sorry. Never mind. There was no time to play this yet because this was going to happen next if they played that. Never mind. All right. That's an interesting place. I see the threat of the tactic. Ooh, that might be losing right there for white, if not lost already. But yeah, because you're already attacking the rook, and now if you want to pause your video and see if you see another tactic that's basically winning for black, you could. But I'll go ahead and share that Tecalaj is threatening to attack the queen, and the queen is stuck, protected by the knight. Can't escape, can't save the queen and king at the same time. So that would be all she wrote at that point. Yeah, that's beautiful. There's nothing to do. When I first looked at it, I thought you were just trying to post your knight out here. Because protected by the bishop, it's just in his territory, and guarding all these squares. Sorry, guarding all these squares here. But he missed it completely. With 22 minutes on the clock, I'm wondering because I wasn't watching the game live. I'm wondering if you guys are moving through these moves rather quickly, and he just kind of missed it. But there's plenty of time on the clock to catch something like that. Takes. We probably could stop it right here, but we'll go ahead and see how it finishes. So that's an interesting little tactic there. Your knight's being attacked by the rook, but you respond by attacking the bishop, meeting an attack with a counterattack. He moves back, and only then do you protect your knight. Not sure what prompted that move. Okay, so you move your bishop back, activating your queen. I wonder. Yeah, can. Yeah, that's probably just as good as any other move. All right, so attacking your knight. Bring your knight back. All right, now he develops his knight and is preparing the castle. And you're like, nah, not today. All right, go ahead. You went ahead and forked the king bishop, threatening to take the bishop and prevent him from castling. He takes, and all trades now are great for you because you were up in exchange with the queen and rook. All right, attacks your queen, check. Might not pick up a pawn. Okay, moves a knight. All right, so okay, so you're putting your bishop on a better diagonal. Not really threatening this just yet because the knight's protecting it, of course. He attacks you. You throw in a nice check. Forced. Another check. And now you take advantage of the pin. Very nice. Okay, so attacking the rook. Unfortunately, he can't take because he's pinned to the king. Oops. And that's it. That's the whole game. All right, good stuff. Just to kind of recap a bit. You guys played into a Nimzo-Indian defense. Made some trades. Developed your pieces well. Made a presence in the center. Put your pieces in the middle, in the center of the board. Developed nicely. Okay. All right, and then this is the move I really liked. The strike in the center, especially since the king is uncastled. I mean, yeah, you would probably do it anyway, but it just kind of makes me a little bit more excited about it because the king hasn't castled yet. And moving the rook, I think I would rather like to figure out where my king is going as white. And now you've activated these files for your rook, gaining tempo. And again, originally I thought you were posting up, but it was actually a beautiful tactic, attacking the rook at the same time. So basically, it's inevitable; you can't be stopped. Either he's losing the rook to the knight, or what happened, which was much worse, attacking the queen. And then it's basically all she wrote from there. Okay, well, good game, Tecalaj. Thank you for sharing that. I hope you guys learned something from it. Tecalaj, you sent me a game that you won pretty convincingly. I appreciate that. Also encourage you to share games that you don't win so we can kind of dive in and pick on you a bit more. But beautiful game. Thanks for sharing.